Updates, everybody. Donald Trump isn't on Truth Social, isn't on any media right now. They've been in battle since this morning, and certainly, sure enough, they're filing a stay on condition that they get a challenge in the Supreme Court. If that's granted, we're back in business. And it should be. But we're dealing with New York. This is the state of New York. This is federal court versus appeals court that should follow the Constitution of the United States. It's not hard to look at the history. I have two case precedents. One Republican, one Democrat, on presidents doing exactly what Donald J. Trump is attempting to do, and actually doing better than anyone ever before him, right? For the people of America. There is no negative here for the people of America. That's what really chaps me and makes me so angry. I have full faith in the U.S. Supreme Court, folks. I'm telling you, in all my studies, National Constitution Center, all institutions from Texas to Yale, Princeton, Harvard, doesn't matter. I'm very confident that SCOTUS will deliver. I'm even confident that at the highest appeals court, they will deliver. New York, it's leaning largely on Trump's side, but will they give him the stay on condition that they appeal to the Supreme Court of the United States? That is what Trump's fighting for right now. Warrior against unsurmountable evil in America. And it's just so sick that there's judges and justices like this. Now, in Canada, and this is probably where I really was moved, was when I participated in my Boilermakers, when I learned of the independent judiciary and the citizens' initiative to have federal action, and that was my Boilermakers who did that. They did the Citizen Challenge, and we won. We defeated a mafia boss, large-scale one in America, and I showed that a little bit last year. But just average Joe Jane Boilermakers did that, and it was an amazing thing. It's just rotten to see something for the people when you need it being taken by political actors and parties and powerful persons, and then judges abusing the law. That judge, I think what the Founding Fathers missed, and what you need to see, and amendments that could even actually be done at the state level, would be that judges are held accountable. If your decisions go against the law, you're appealed against several times, and you're epically wrong, hello, what school of law did you go to? Because you're paid a phenomenal salary to interpret the law, but somehow with your bar and your years of experience as a lawyer and then a justice, you get it epically wrong, and you can't seemingly interpret that. Shouldn't there be an accountability for those justices? Because it stinks of corruption, right? Like this New York judge, I'm sorry, but I'm not a lawyer, but I can read the American Constitution. I can go look at precedents set, both Democrat and Republican, and you're going to say, oh, not for Trump. It doesn't matter. It's because it's Trump. I don't like him and I don't want it. No, you don't get to do what you like. That's not how your position's articulated and legally created. So when do we see accountability? If an appeals court rejects a decision and it's so epically wrong, where your average high school graduate in the United States, if read and then looked at the precedents, would say, yeah, what do you mean the decision went a different way? Let's hope and pray, everybody, because for 51st staters, this sets us back at least a year. A lot of the destruction of Canada's economic corruption and destroying that and putting it in place really hinges on this today, right? And going forward, a delay of a year is problematic. And I'm not saying we can adjust, and I'm sitting here going, I have ideas to adjust, but it's really put us at a moment, and it's ugly. But just so everybody knows, the breaking news here is Trump is hard at work. Many Republicans right now are full bore on this, not on social media, not posting. They've been going now for 15 hours. And if they get this stay and everything's held in place and it's ruled that it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, which should agree to hear it, this is a merit case where you go, yeah, that's definitely a huge screw up by a judge, which either you're extremely stupid, and that means why do you have a bar, or you're absolutely corrupt. And I think we all know it's absolute corrupt. And there's got to be a check and balance on that kind of epic scale corruption of the justice system. Because the next thing will be is they'll want to take away the people's power in that court system, which that's the end of America too. And Donald Trump doesn't want to do that. He never once ever says that. You'll never hear any posts about that. But I guess what I'm going to do, regardless of how this goes, we're going to be following. I'm going to keep you all up to date. But as this goes, once we know, I think I'm going to do a video educating Americans how to use the We the People judiciary in the United States, because it's a magical thing, only really available in America. And I think one other country I know of, one other small African country that got that out of the 70s. And where did they get that template off? The United States of America. But other than that, the power of the people to use the justice system, giving them executive authority at the basic level, that doesn't exist in the world. These are magical things about America that we all need to know about, and a lot of Americans need to know about, so that when you're pissed off like a Canadian, we have no recourse, but an American, you really do have recourse. You can actually get involved, and you can actually back Trump up. You can do what the Democrats are doing, but to the Democrats, and say, hey, you know what? And do it in legal reality where, yeah, let's call these pricks out for some of this stuff. Or let's set some precedences, and I think that would be a worthy thing that I'm going to come up with here. But like I said, we're going to see how it goes. We might be shifting gears here and getting to work on a lot of things, but we're just at kind of a standstill, holding our breath. And it's a major today. This is a major, major battle. God bless everybody. Hope is not lost. We're not delayed a year, not yet. So hang on to your seats. Pray for Donald J. Trump and team, and pray for the law, the independent judiciary, to autocorrect and do this righteous thing and give him his chance, his day in court at the supreme level to, showcase the tariffs that this is law, the highest law. This is my privy. I'm president. I'm doing this for my people. And here are two precedents already set by two presidencies, Republican and Democrat. So go to hell. This is a corrupt justice infringement on the Constitution of the United States. And I'm sure if he's given that chance, the Supreme Court will rule. If the Supreme Court hears it, I don't see why they wouldn't. God bless everybody. Enjoy your day. We'll catch up soon. Bye now.